Are these signs of a fair fog lifting? This is my story. I have been with her for 8 years, 7 years married. We have 2 beautiful kids together. Relationship had more upside than there were issues, and this was the time we were looking best. D-Day was 12th November. She came home late all drunk, and when I confronted her, she says that I have been scared to speak up for last 2 months and I don't love you the way I used to anymore. I am ready to leave my kids as well as I just need happiness. I call her brother that very night and ask him to take her home before I lose it. Next morning I pleading her to return and work on the relationship. This is where she starts to feed on my desperation. She returns and picks her stuff and leaves. For the entire month, I am begging her to return. She confessed going out with her team leader. I had no clue, but as per her the marriage has been dead for years and all signs point to a fair fog. We signed the first motion on 10th December and I had decided to divorce her with prejudice. This is when I decided to go full North Carolina with her. Her approach has since changed and she is finding it difficult to walk in the house, as I am now ETH mother who is supporting me in this. I think there is guilt. She has also been finding ways to get me out to meet her. These would be genuine, but desperation is there. She has not been visiting kids as well. Good thing is, me and my kids are doing well now. Kids have no clue what happened and I keep them super busy. Is this lull, and her change in approach means fog is fading. I have done everything to shake her, which is throw her out and get the first motion signed. Gone full North Carolina. Kids hardly speak to her on the phone. I am supposed to meet her in the bank and then in March for final proceeding. I hope she is still in the fog, as that gets me my freedom and new start without hassle. She has signed such a bad deal. Any suggestions to how to proceed with it? How can keep the fog going for a couple of more months? Update, meeting WW in the bank. Just a quick update from my previous post. I met her in the bank. She walks in, pretends that she doesn't want to look at me, but when I'm looking elsewhere, she is reading my body language. I was prepared. Said hello and proceeded to take her name of the mortgage. We walk out the bank and I said bye and walked away. All this happened for 20 minutes SND, except for signing she didn't say a single word. From a distance, I could see she is on the phones for this episode, and I think it should be AP, giving details of what happened. This incredible change in behavior from all energy when I was begging and pleading has changed to hate and frustration when now I am showing signs of putting this divorce through at my comfort. It's so hard to read these people, but defiantly frustrated that I have stepped back and don't care about her. This relationship was built on hate for me. Other day on WhatsApp she said I have made this ugly and I wanted to do this clean. Blaming me something she can't articulate. Update, WW wants me to respect her. This just happened. WW wanted to check something on divorce documents which was in plain old English. I asked her to read again, and she still played dumb so that I can explain her. I ended up explaining it to her and then asked her to bug off. She responded by saying, "Why do you have to be disrespectful unnecessarily?" I couldn't stop laughing. It is coming from a woman who was pure evil to me in the last couple of months. I still managed to take another dig and asked her to check with AP, as she is boring me and irritating me. Earned an instant block on WhatsApp. Feel good rant if that's a thing. Update, got caught in narcissist WW's orbit after doing so well for last couple of months. So out of the blue she calls me up, and I disconnect her call. Asked her to only speak to me via texts. She wanted certain documents related to divorce hard copy. I asked her to speak to my lawyer and she replies by saying stop playing these games with me. I got upset and took my frustration out by stating that you have not been looking after her kids, and the other day my boy said his mother doesn't love him. She replied, and I quote, "And talking of the kids, your life is still the same, mine has changed drastically, so have some respect. Once I'm back on my feet I will get that thing sorted." Then I erupted and lashed on her for what she has done. She continued to blame me for the toxic relationship, etc. Just a couple of hours ago, I picked my kids up and saw her, and it just triggered me so bad. THSD, I ended up smoking 4 cigarettes. I exposed all her lies and she continued to shift blame. Damn, I should actually maintain full silence like I did before. Feels so bad. Anyways, I texted her to speak to my mum for kids and lawyer for divorce. I ain't making same mistake now. Update, is my WW using my daughter as a spy? What do I make of it and how should I respond? Few hours back I picked my daughter from her mom's place. My 7-year-old daughter is now telling me that her mum was asking questions like 1. Does someone come late at night to visit dad? 2. What do I have to say about her? 3. How well does he keep you? 4. What is he saying about when will mom return? To protect my kids, I have been very careful in what I have told them and taking advices from counselors. I am confused and irritated but don't know what to do. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, keep on trucking bro, you're doing fine. The answer is yes. She's trying to use the kid as a spy, or least get info about you from her. Keep along careful about what you say to the kid, not to foil her spy plans, but to keep her out of the marital issues. The kid is most likely reporting back to mom, and that's okay, she's just doing what mommy asks her to do. What do you do about it? Nothing, at all. If you do it right, she will be reporting that daddy is happy all the time and living his best life. Op answer, nice. My daughter told her that he goes to gym, eats broccoli and late night runs after I sleep. Haha. So cute. Redditor 2, just be honest with her. It's awkward, but if WW truly cared she wouldn't be where she is. Just ride it out. Redditor 3, and if you want your daughter to grow up healthy, you will say nothing bad about her mother other than she hurt daddy and they can no longer live together. Please shield her from your trauma. It will help her grow up healthier, and if your ex is truly unstable then she at least needs one healthy and reliable parent. Op answer, I have told her nothing negative. I do boulevard. It is important for the kids to be not affected while I deal with things myself. Update, it's over. WW has been divorced. So this is how it has ended. I signed first motion late last year after WW left home, me and kids for an affair. I decided to divorce her and maintain North Carolina. I did seemingly well on North Carolina, as she may have called at least on 8 occasions to Hoover and I didn't answer a single call and preferred to speak to her over texts. She would reply stating she wants something to do with kids or her stuff left at home. Much of it didn't make sense to me. My boundaries were formidable and she couldn't break through. Day for second motion arrived and I had to make my lawyer call her up to get her to court. Damn, she had no energy like she had it at the start of the affair. She walked like she was crawling, had gained around 20 pounds earlier. She would at least call kids on a video call once in a while, but now she has stopped doing that as well. She now calls then like twice a week. Nothing like how she was before. I don't know if depression has her now or she is playing victim card or if her affair has exploded, but she didn't look well and divorce was done even before she had any clue. I feel bad for the kids right now, but hopefully I will be in a better place one day when my family will be complete again. Edit, just to be clear, I don't plan to marry my ex when I say complete the family. Redditor's reactions, story 2 after. Redditor 1, congratulations on getting through the divorce process. It's not an easy ordeal. It seems that she has recovered from the affair fog and realized that the grass was not all that green. She is no longer your problem. Focus on moving forward and what is best for you and your kids. If you co-parent in the future, keep communications limited to the kids. You're on the right track. Don't let her derail you. Redditor 2, congrats, though eventually you may want her well to be there for your kids. She is no longer your problem. If she can't pick herself up to be a good mother, that's on her. Redditor 3, I hope the kids get therapy to help them deal emotionally. I bet limerence ended and she lost everything before she knew it was happening. I hope she gets the help she needs to heal and recover. Op answer, thank you. Kids have been busy with school and I take them out lot often. Doing whatever necessary. Story 2, 3 years later and I just feel stuck. I'm trying very hard not to fall into the fallacy of the grass is greener on the other side mentality, but I have felt so stuck lately and frequently find myself fantasizing about leaving my wife, not my kids. I love them to death and are the only reason I haven't pulled the trigger on divorcing my wife. My wife had an affair a couple years ago. I wanted to leave but she seemed remorseful, did all the right things, and other circumstances complicated making the decision to leave then, so I decided to at least try to reconcile. Basically I was moving to another country for work and would have been signing away my ability to see my kids for the next few years, at least. Since then we've been on and off. I feel like I've forgiven the actress to the best of my abilities, but my feelings for her have just not been the same since. It feels like our marriage died a couple years ago and the love is gone. I can't explain it, but I don't see her the same way. We've talked about it, she's apologized and tried to be supportive, but it seems so unsalvageable. She's not just my beautiful bride I married 10 years ago. She's the shell of that person and the hoe who told another man she wanted her DCK in her throat, while I was too busy taking care of the home and the kids with almost no support to notice it happening right under my nose. I expected to rebuild a stronger relationship, but we just seem to be coexisting most of the time. Almost all of our conversations are surface level, nothing deeper, no real genuine support or concern for what's going on in my life. No talks of our future and goals and plans. We're like roommates. The crazy thing is, she seems content with that. I want so much more. I want a partner. So I just stuff it and try to keep the peace and focus on bettering myself and being present, involved with the kids. I don't fully trust her and I'm constantly waiting for it to happen again. Communication is non-existent. She's also changed, her beliefs, her attitude towards life, her physical appearance. She's lazy, messy, not the best model for the kids, doesn't take care of herself, basic hygiene like showers and brushing her teeth consistently, bad with money, and has become a bit of an alcoholic. Yes, she struggles with depression, but hell so do I at this point, but one of us has to act like an adult for our kids. She also has ADHD and bipolar disorder, so maybe she's just not capable of being what I want her to be. And I'm supposed to just accept her for who she is, but this isn't who I married. I think these things just exacerbate my feelings and views towards her at this point. I want to leave, but I'm terrified of what that will do to the family. I hate divorce and grew up without a father and swore I'd never do that to my kids, but here I am. I've been looking at houses and daydreaming of what it'd be like to start over. It seems like it would be so much easier to set structure for the kids, maintain a clean, orderly home, and model better behaviors for the kids if she weren't there to contradict everything I did. Plus I'd save money and maybe one day find someone who can actually be a life partner, not just a roommate. Not sure what I'm looking for here. Maybe I just need to get some of this off my chest. Maybe I'm looking to see if I'm alone. Maybe I'm looking to see if maybe my expectations are too high, or maybe for validation to rip the band-aid off and move on. Either way, I appreciate anyone who reads this and may offer some advice or words of wisdom. And I wish all of y'all nothing but love and peace, wherever you are in your journey. Update: wife says she doesn't want my money. My wife and I are headed for divorce. So far everything has been very amicable. Neither of us wants this to get ugly and we plan to work with a mediator to save money and because we think we'll be able to agree on everything. We live in an equitable distribution state. We both want 50-50 custody and all she really wants is the house, which I'm fine with. She says she does not want any of my money, child support, alimony, money from my separate accounts, or retirement. We've had separate accounts and put money into a joint account for joint expenses since we got married, with the understanding that whatever is left over is ours to spend however we please. I know my accounts are considered marital assets, but if she signs a separation agreement saying she doesn't want any of it, would that hold up? My concern is that we'd agree on everything and then a judge would say that it's not fair and we'd be back to square one before the divorce is finalized. I do plan to talk to a lawyer, but thought I'd ask here first to see if anyone might know if this is even possible. Redditor's reactions, story 3 after. Redditor 1, if a soon-to-be ex says she's not interested in money, don't believe a word of it. As soon as she lawyers up and she gets in her ear about what they are owed, all bets are off and she will come after you for every penny. That being said, an agreeable divorce is possible, just rare. If you can agree division of assets to be fair and get a custody agreement drawn up, hopefully a judge will agree to it all. One thing, I'd personally offer some level of CS not alimony to indicate to the judge that you take your responsibility seriously and love your children. It might win you some brownie points. Set it at an agreed level that both support. My ex and I sat down and worked out all the costs, clubs, food, clothing etc. and agreed upon an amount required to fund the children. It was a realistic amount, well below what the court mandated would have been, and even though her lawyer disputed it, she overruled her lawyer. She said she wanted to stand on her own, so I said, prove it by agreeing to this number which we both know is what is required for the kids not you, and she did. I think in my case she was feeling guilty for cheating rare, so wasn't quite thinking straight. Lucky me? Op answer, that's a good idea. I really don't mind helping her with providing for the kids. I planned to do that anyways, outside of a court order. I can't control whether or not she lawyers up, but right now we've agreed to work it out ourselves and I'm cautiously optimistic we can. Redditor 2, child support cannot be permanently negotiated away. The court reserves the right to implement state guidelines, because they are financially incentivized to do so by the federal gov. She better be represented by an attorney if you want it upheld later when she ultimately changes her mind. A judge isn't going to make decisions on your case unless you go to trial. 95% of divorces are settled before trial, usually through mediation. Since you both agree on the outcome, you basically skip the mediation step. Redditor 3, don't believe it. Mine used to say that, Now she is coming after everything including my kids. Ready to follow up, that's usually how it works. The wife is all sweet and nice because she's trying to figure out how willing you are to give her what she wants. As soon as you and your wife come to an agreement, she now has her baseline on what you'll agree to, and she aims to get more, especially after talking to a lawyer. All smart people talk to a lawyer and finds out she can get much more if she fights her husband in court. Story 3, I'm struggling with self-worth after the end of a healthy, long-term relationship. Hi everyone. I am 27. I am currently healing through an incredibly difficult time in my life. About 6 weeks ago, I found out my ex-partner F27 had been emotionally cheating with a co-worker while she is working interstate. We had been together for almost 8 years, and were living together for 3 of them. It was such a kind, supportive and loving relationship that really brought out the best in both of us. We hardly ever fought, and there were no visible cracks in our relationship. I trusted this woman completely, and loved her unconditionally. We have since broken up, although I tried to salvage what I could, and have been no contact for 3 weeks. I believe if we had broken up under different circumstances, it would have been easier to move on from her. But the fact that she cheated on me, blame shifted the infidelity towards me, that there must have been something wrong with the relationship for her to do that, and broke up with me over the phone with no intention of trying to fix anything, has left me in a very dark and low place. She didn't fight for the relationship, and treated me like I was absolute trash with doing it. I feel my self-worth deteriorating every day, and I specifically compare myself to this new person she will eventually start dating. I always had issues with confidence and body image, but she really helped support that side of me when we were together. Since I didn't receive any closure on the relationship, I have horrible thoughts on why I wasn't enough, and what I could have done differently. I usually am a very caring, empathetic person who would be proud of my life, but this infidelity has completely shattered that. If there are any suggestions on good procedures to self-love, moving on from infidelity, or strategies that people have taken in similar situations, I would absolutely love to hear them. Thank you for your time. Update: my ex wants to meet up and have a conversation a few months later. What should I do? Hi everyone. About 4 months ago, I am 27 discovered my ex-partner F27 of 8 years was emotionally cheating on me with a co-worker she knew for a month while she was working interstate. I tried to be forgiving and understanding with her, but she left me a few days later for him. After a few logistical conversations over the phone, I cut contact with her, asking for 3 months silence. What followed was an incredibly difficult time healing through depression, chronic anxiety and trauma. I would like to say it's getting better, but it still hurts every day. I was completely blindsided by her infidelity, as we had lived together for years and had a very healthy and supportive relationship. She was my best friend and I still hold some love for her. She reached out a few days ago, stating that she is back in our home city for work and would love to have a conversation with me. I'm looking for advice or insight regarding what I should do. I'm assuming she wants to talk to apologize, maybe to alleviate her guilt. While I have already given myself closure on the relationship, would it be beneficial to meet her in person this soon, or just remain no contact indefinitely? I'm concerned that she may not have fully taken responsibility for her actions and further gaslight or blame shift, like she did when I found out, which could set my healing process back further. What should I do? Has anyone caught up with their ex and it not been a terrible decision? Thank you for any advice or support, I really appreciate it. Update: wow. I would absolutely love to reply to each and every one of you. I didn't expect to get so much feedback. I'm very grateful for your comments and insight. The overwhelming consensus is that she is only asking to talk for her own needs and she really doesn't care about me or my journey. This whole experience has shown me how self-centered she is, only taking actions that serve herself, since she has never shown any empathy towards me during this time. I don't think I will respond to her. I don't think she can be a part of my life. Once again, thank you so much for your comments, they will help build me up when I am at my lowest. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, I waited 10 years to see an ex after their infidelity, trust me you're not fully healed yet. She is only looking to alleviate her guilt, or if her new guy hasn't worked out she may be trying to set you up as a plan B. Never allow anyone to do that BTW. She may want to be friends so she can minimize the social impact of her actions, because she can say see it wasn't that bad as 30 and 1 are still good friends. Nothing about this meetup request is for you. There is no positive outcome from this for you at all, only her. Redditor 2, remain no contact. Make no mistake, no matter how genuine and remorseful she sounds, this is to appease her own guilt than it is to give you closure. In other words, the objective for her is to make herself feel better before she ends this chapter of her life. No different than her cheating. Instead of communicating, she had her itch scratched first and then left for the guy some time after. Now, to make herself feel less like a monster, she can have this conversation with you to rid herself of the shame and move on, guilt-free. Redditor 3, I can only see two possible reasons as to why she's attempting to break the silence, and neither are selfless endeavors on her part. 1. As others have said, it's to alleviate her own guilt. 2. It's because she realizes the grass isn't as green as she thought and wants to reconcile. If you're a masochist, that might be what you want, but it's not in your best interest. I wish you the best regardless, but if you do end up talking with her, understand that it's at the risk of reopening wounds and possibly being manipulated for her selfish gain. You're better off without her. Full stop.